the Super Veloce Risen, an Italian two-seater that blends blistering speed, sleek design, and efficiency into one insane package. And here's where it starts to get fascinating. The Risen isn't just fast, it's a statement. Alberto Porto, an Argentinian engineer living in Italy, dreamed up this aircraft not for show, but for pure performance. His goal? Build a personal ultralight that flies like a jet, yet doesn't drink gas like one. The design philosophy is all about efficiency and control, using the latest computational fluid dynamics technology to shape the wings, fuselage, and canopy. Every curve, every line is calculated to slice through air cleanly, letting it climb, cruise, and glide with surgical precision. The philosophy is simple. If it looks right, it flies right. And it does. Even at low speeds, this plane feels planted and confident. Stall speed sits at an almost unbelievable 43 knots, roughly what a tiny Cessna does, yet it can cruise faster than planes double its weight. The glide ratio is another jaw-dropper, 20-to-1. Most general aviation planes barely come close. That means in case of engine trouble, the Risen can glide for miles, giving pilots more options and more peace of mind. It's also full of little tweaks that add up. Laminar-flow wings, carefully sculpted tail surfaces, and a cockpit that's wide and comfortable for two. Nothing screams over the top, yet everything adds to a feeling of control and speed. You get the sense that Alberto didn't just want to build a plane. He wanted to redefine what an ultralight could be. The nuts and bolts that make the Risen feel more like a jet than a traditional ultralight. Let's start with the engines. You've got options: Rotax 912, 912IS, or the 914, each packing roughly 160 horsepower depending on your pick. That's enough to push this sleek Italian through the sky at speeds that make your typical small plane look like it's standing still. The Risen doesn't just rely on raw power. Retractable landing gear keeps drag to a minimum, while the laminar-flow wings slice through air with surgical efficiency. Every takeoff feels clean, every climb feels effortless, and the glide, don't even get me started, is almost hypnotic. Wait, you're watching right now but not subscribed to the channel. Go ahead and smash that subscribe button so we can move on with the video. You did? Okay. You're cool. Now back to the planes. Inside, it's surprisingly roomy for a two-seater. The cockpit stretches 124 centimeters wide, giving you and your co-pilot plenty of space, and the baggage compartment can hold up to 30 kilos, perfect for a weekend escape or a quick cross-country jaunt. Avionics? You're spoiled for choice. Dynon or Garmin glass cockpits bring all the data you need right to your fingertips. And if you want a personal touch, the Risen welcomes it. Leather interiors, custom paint, and little personalizations. This plane can feel truly yours. Even the propeller is a marvel. Full carbon, variable pitch, and electrically driven. Fine-tuned for every twist of throttle and angle of attack. Small details like this are why the Risen doesn't just fly. It performs, and it performs like nothing else in its class. And here's the part that really blows your mind. The Risen doesn't just look fast, it feels fast the second it leaves the runway. Even at just 70% power, this plane cruises between 195 and 220 knots. That's roughly the speed of some light jets, and it's achieved while sipping barely 6.8 gallons per hour, around 7 liters if you're thinking metric, at a smooth 200 kilometers per hour. Efficiency and speed wrapped into one ultralight package. Climb into the mid to high teens, push the throttle a little more, and hitting 220 knots isn't a stretch at all. And the real kicker? You can do this continuously at 10,000 to 11,000 feet with ease. With the optional built-in oxygen system, pilots can cruise at those altitudes without breaking a sweat. It's a rare combination. Blistering speed without the heart-stopping fuel costs, making the Risen one of the most efficient aircraft in its class. The glide ratio is just as impressive, 20 to 1. That means if anything goes wrong, this plane can glide for miles, giving pilots plenty of options and peace of mind. It's not just theory, it's been proven. Alberto Porto himself flew non-stop across the Atlantic last summer, from Scotland to Newfoundland, without refueling. No ultralight had ever accomplished that before. That flight wasn't just a stunt. It was proof of what careful engineering, aerodynamic precision, and computational fluid design can achieve. In everyday use, climbing and cruising feel effortless. You're looking at 88 to 89% power for climbs, low power for long-range cruise, all while staying stable and responsive. Compared to other ultralights and light aircraft, the Risen is in a league of its own. Most planes in this class either burn too much fuel at high speeds or can't sustain those speeds safely. The Risen manages both, speed and efficiency, without compromise. So, while other aircraft make you choose between performance and range, the Risen just doesn't ask you to pick. It's fast, it's efficient, and it gives you the kind of confidence that only comes from knowing every element, engine, wing, propeller, was designed to push the limits without cutting corners. And here's where the Risen really proves it's more than just a speed demon. It's built for control, safety, and confidence. First, the stall speed sits at an astonishingly low 43 knots. That's almost unheard of for a plane capable of cruising over 200 knots. What does it mean in practice? Even at slow speeds, it feels planted, stable, and surprisingly forgiving. Perfect for private pilots who don't want to fight the plane just to stay in the air. The tail design is another genius touch. Spins? Forget the myths. This tail is shaped to reattach airflow when things go sideways. Giving you a predictable recovery. And just in case you hit a real emergency, there's a ballistic parachute ready to deploy, guiding both you and the aircraft safely to the ground. Dual firewalls add another layer of protection, guarding against impact and giving pilots extra peace of mind. Visibility is just as critical, and the canopy doesn't disappoint. You can see everything: runways, terrain, traffic, making situational awareness effortless. Landing is equally impressive. The Risen can handle normal strips or very short runways, down to about 300 meters. And with precise gear and flap deployment, you never feel rushed or unsure. Every control feels intuitive, almost like the plane reads your intentions. Now, let's talk about what it's actually like to fly this thing. Because all the specs in the world don't matter until you're in the cockpit. Takeoff is smooth but thrilling. Rotation happens around 60 knots. and you've got to manage torque carefully. Flaps come up in stages, and before you know it, you're climbing cleanly, effortlessly, leaving the runway behind. Climbs are efficient at 88 to 89% power, and once you hit cruise altitude, anywhere from 7,000 to 10,500 feet. It's like the plane wakes up and stretches its wings. Power settings are surprisingly forgiving, and with the optional oxygen system, high-altitude flight is smooth, comfortable, and sustainable for hours. Turns are sharp but controlled. You can feel the feedback through the stick. The plane communicates every subtle pressure change. Descending is just as intuitive. Lowering the gear and flaps feels natural, and you always know exactly what airspeed and attitude you need. Approach and landing are almost meditative. Final approach speed sits around 70 to 73 knots, and once you're in ground effect, the plane seems to hug the runway. Centerline precision is easy to maintain, and even tight or short fields feel manageable. You're never fighting the aircraft. It works with you. For private pilots with a couple of hundred hours of experience, the Risen is accessible yet thrilling. It's not intimidating, but it rewards attention and skill. Every takeoff, climb, cruise, and landing reminds you that this isn't just an ultralight. It's a high-performance machine that makes you feel like you're piloting something far more sophisticated than its size would suggest. And this is where the Risen separates itself from nearly every other ultralight on the market. It's not just fast, it's efficient in ways that feel almost impossible. At cruise speeds nearing 200 knots, fuel consumption sits at a mere 6.8 gallons per hour. That's not a typo. You can fly fast, high, and far without constantly worrying about topping off the tanks. If you want to go really long distances, extra fuel tanks push the range to a staggering 4,000 to 5,000 kilometers. That's enough to plan serious cross-country flights without even thinking about refueling stops. And the plane can maintain these speeds continuously at 10,000 to 11,000 feet, letting you slice through the air like a precision machine. Short strips? No problem. Grass, dirt, or any normal small airfield around 300 meters is completely manageable. You're getting the kind of flexibility that most general aviation planes can only dream of. Compared to standard GA aircraft, the Risen isn't just marginally more efficient. It's in a completely different league. A lot of this comes down to the design. Every inch of the airframe has been optimized using computational fluid dynamics. Drag is minimized, lift is maximized, and the payoff is obvious. Incredible fuel economy without sacrificing speed, safety, or handling. It's a rare combination that makes the Risen feel like it belongs in the jet world, even though it's technically an ultralight. And now, the secret sauce that makes all this possible. The Risen's aerodynamics are pure genius. From the ground up, the plane was designed using advanced computational fluid dynamics. That's not just marketing jargon. Every curve, every surface, every angle of the fuselage and wings was calculated on a high-speed computer to cut drag and maximize airflow. The laminar-flow wing is the standout feature here. It keeps airflow smooth across the surface, reducing turbulence and drag, which translates directly into higher speed and efficiency. The canopy isn't just for looks either. Its shape slices through the air cleanly and even offers protection against bird strikes, keeping you safe while maintaining performance. The tail design deserves its own mention. It's long, well-armed, and perfectly proportioned for stability, letting the plane stay steady in all conditions. What's remarkable is how small details, winglets, fairings, control surface tweaks, combine to produce big numbers in terms of performance. Every tiny refinement adds up. And then there's the propeller. Proprietary, full carbon, variable pitch, and electrically driven, it's tuned to match the plane's unique aerodynamics. Every ounce of thrust is optimized, giving you explosive takeoffs, effortless climbs, and a glide that feels almost weightless. The takeaway: the Risen isn't just fast because of its engine. It's fast because every single element, from the wing to the tail to the prop, was engineered to work together. The result is an ultralight that feels shockingly jet-like, smooth, precise, and relentlessly efficient at every stage of flight. And while it's easy to get caught up in speed and numbers, the Risen doesn't forget about the pilot and passenger experience. It's surprisingly comfortable for a high-performance ultralight. The cockpit is spacious, stretching 124 centimeters wide, and the seats are adjustable, giving both pilot and co-pilot room to settle in for hours in the air. Everything is laid out ergonomically. Switches, screens, and controls are exactly where you need them, so nothing feels awkward or clunky while you're climbing or cruising at 200 knots. Maintenance is straightforward, too. The upper panel of the plane can be completely removed, giving easy access to the engine and all critical components. That means less downtime, simpler inspections, and the ability to keep this machine in peak condition without a full tech crew hovering over you. Avionics are state-of-the-art. Dynon or Garmin glass cockpits put everything at your fingertips, from engine stats to navigation, while an optional oxygen system makes high-altitude cruising smooth and sustainable. And if you're thinking style matters, because it does, the Risen doesn't disappoint. Leather interiors, custom paint, and personal touches let you make the plane feel like your own private speed machine. The result? A plane that doesn't just fly fast, it flies comfortably, efficiently, and intuitively. Whether it's a short hop to a nearby airstrip or a long-range cross-country adventure, the Risen is built to perform while keeping the human side of flying front and center. It's jet-like in speed, ultralight in class, and remarkably usable in daily life. The Super Veloce Risen isn't just the fastest ultralight in its class. It's efficient, safe, and thrilling to fly. With its perfect balance of speed, handling, and comfort, it redefines what personal aviation can be. So, what's your take? Drop it in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe.